Thank you, Ms. Sama Ahmed, for joining us from the United States and to represent your people of South Yemen. We wish you good luck for your in your fight, and we are here with you also. So, thank you for your attention. I hope there will be questions also at the end of this session. So, our next speaker is Reverend Father Jerry Jumbam. Here again, I don't know if we really need introduction, as he last time also came here. He's participating with us for all our Zoom meetings for more than now 2 years. And Father Reverend Gerald Jumbam is a fervent activist for the Amazonian people's rights in Southern Cameroon and has played a major role in the freedom struggle. His sense of inner freedom allows him to express himself freely and with concision. His huge commitment to the theological enterprise has worried him. His spirits to fashion out a theology for his African people. He calls it theology of self-determination. He has written a book entitled Independence or Nothing. And during the last Zoom session, he has also presented The Pillar of Fire by Night, in which he questioned the UN system and its functions regarding the rights of self-determination of neglected people like us. So let me welcome Reverend Father Jerry Jumbam. Thank you.
Ms. Nisha, thank you for the introduction. I like to begin with a simple story. A story found in one of the most important books that ever existed. One day, some Pharisees came to Jesus, determined to trap him with a complex question. They wanted to know if the Jews should pay taxes to Caesar. Jesus, because he saw how dubious these Pharisees were, answers their question with a question. Whose image is on the coin you use to pay the taxes? That was a simple question because Caesar's image was branded on every coin. Money was Caesar's property. That led to a simple conclusion. Give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's. The Bible readers quote that verse often, but few people pause to meditate on the seriousness of the universal message Jesus passed to his audience. We almost never talk about the last part of the verse, and to God, what is God's? In context, the reference is to the image of Caesar on the Roman coins and the image of God in the human being. So there are two coins in play here. The coin of Caesar, the Roman coin, and the coin of God, the human coin. Jesus is really saying, you are worth more than Caesar's coin. You are worth more than money. You are God's image. So the image planted in God's coin is the human being. Thus, the title of this address, The Coin of God, Right to Self-Determination and the Agony of the British Southern Cameroons. Dear brothers and sisters, your body, your heart, your mind, your soul, your emotions, your will, your dreams, your most profound longings, all of it is grafted in the image of God. That's the ultimate implication of being made in God's image. Herein lies the very fountain and source of the spirit of self-determination. The perception of man as the coin of God prompts me to see self-determination as the universal eligibility to be fully human, the determination to pull down not only on just walls that dishonor the human being, but also to emancipate chicken-hearted and cowardly mentalities in man. Such yearning ambition to overcome slavish psychoses can be an agony to oppressors, but also can be torment to oppressed slave still licking the flesh pots of the master. Genuine self-determination fashions out a native attitude of live and let live, be and let be, which finds practical expressions in such global civilizing principles as human dignity, human life, liberation, and the quest for happiness. The United Nations, privileged in their position of leadership of the world, is called to rouse the conscience of the world, summon each one of us global citizens to a great and common purpose, so that millions of afflicted men, women, and children trapped in the prison of oppression can at least be set free. For my country, Amazonia, the United Nations has always constituted a prism through which we view our situation in the world and how we wish our practices to be perceived and judged. The mischievous Cameroon Republic military men that leave the comforts of Beitoa, Bafia, Kuseri, Bangante, Bululand to wander through the aboriginal grassland highlands of Bamenda or the forest zones of Indian are extremely serious. They have to be. They have come to change my world. The builders of the biblical Tower of Babel, the one and indivisible Cameroon, who want to turn me into a La République du Cameroon's third-class citizen. They know the importance of being serious. They have that quality of mind that Adolf Hitler's Gestapo before then understood so well, seriousness. Now it seems to me pretty obvious that if I wish to achieve independence, to change the identity fabricated for me by these serious agents of modern African colonialism, I will need to borrow some of their willpower, some of their seriousness. Obvious to do it by lazing away in internal strife, baseless backbiting, and a vicious factionalism. One of such areas the Southern Cameroon's leadership is called to exercise the virtue of seriousness is in uniting its people, in galvanizing its human potential for a renewed engagement into the business of self-determination and total independence. I am proud son of a spiritual institution that in its royalty enjoys a sovereign status among the nations of the world, the Vatican. This country, this institution, the Vatican, took hold of its sovereignty through an embattled application of the principle of self-determination. The Lateran Treaty of 1929 was the sovereign accomplishment that gave the Vatican full powers to stand by itself away from the maneuvers of the fascist tyrant Mussolini. So when I speak about the independence of Amazonia, the Southern Cameroons, my homeland, I am earnest about everything I do, supported by concrete, tangible testimony from my religious and spiritual backyard. Priest I am, yet with a deep sense from personal influence of the centrality of national identity and a sense of belonging, and how when deprived, man and woman quickly sinks into human hopelessness. Such despondency cannot be ignored, nor suppressed, nor circumvented, and shouldn't anymore be ignored in the case of the Amazonians scattered here and there, waiting for a free land where they could rule themselves and exploit their resources for the building of a future for their children. That is why some of us have gone public to uncover these afflictions and seek the hand of institutions like the UN in the addressing of such historic and contemporary cruelties meted out on whole peoples. Accurately, we can say that the UNO is the child conceived in the brilliant minds of two wartime remarkable and far-sighted 20th century statesmen, Franklin Delano Roosevelt and Winston Churchill. It was in 1941 the Atlantic Charter was born. In full battle, yet already envisioning a post-war world, these two statesmen, actively seeking to avoid the mistakes made after the First World War, recognized that all peoples, under whatever form of tyranny, should be liberated. So the very foundations of the UNO were the determination to liberate oppressed peoples all over the world. In that defining Atlantic Charter, there were 8 principal points among them. The third was that of self-determination, which had the following eloquent words: that they respect the right of all peoples to choose the form of government under which they will live, and they wish to see sovereign rights and self-government restored to those who have been forcibly deprived of them. Ladies and gentlemen, I finish by saying that when under the cloud of colonial emasculation, African states under colonial tyranny dared to imagine a free and peaceful future for their children in the light sparkled by the flames of hope of the Atlantic Charter. That was the hope that the British Southern Cameroons shared right back in the 40s and the 50s with other burgeoning African states. But when Nigeria and Ghana, when Kenya and Tanzania, and when La République du Cameroun even were granted their full independence, the British Southern Cameroons, which had full rights as trusteeship UN territory, was left in the dark, deprived of his right to self-government. It is this disadvantaged position in the post-Second World War international politics that has enabled the Holocaust that is taking place today in the West African state of the British Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia. The Ambazonian man and woman are fired up in this generation to right those wrongs and get back their stolen birthright, full and total independence. Thank you.
Thank you, Father Jerry Jumbam, for your beautiful intervention. With your inner sense of freedom, you beautifully explained how far your people are struggling to fight for their self-determination. So thanks a lot for your intervention of today.